Welcome to Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm putting something to the test. I want to see, I have a Tonex 1 here. I want to see if using that as a preamp, so you have the amp capture with the two power amp capture as part of it, running it into the effects return of a solid state PV amp like this one. Editing Chuck here. I forgot to add that the cabinet simulation is turned off on the Tonex 1, so there's no cab sim, it's just the amp capture. Or any other solid state amp you have that has an effects loop on it. So I also have the preamp of this amp on a separate loop here, so I have everything on my footboard here, so I can switch between them real quick. So I'm going to test to see how it sounds using a capture from Tonex as the preamp part, amplifying it extremely loud with this thing, versus just using this amp on its own to see if maybe you gained something by having the Tonex captures. Yeah, so Les Paul, and I'm using a capture. I'm going to start clean here. This is a capture of a hand-wired deluxe reverb versus just the clean channel here. So like and subscribe, affiliate links to Tonex below, and we'll get rolling. So this is just using the clean preamp out of this amp. So, with the capture here, there's some grit to it. This clean channel doesn't really get gritty, so let's see how that plays into this. So what this kind of allows you to do is it captures kind of what like a Fender Deluxe Reverb does when you have the volume around 4 o'clock or so. Just when it starts to break up, it can get clean, you back off. It can get dirty, you hit it hard with your playing style. The regular solid state preamp channel doesn't really do that. Look at that, a Gibson Les Paul went out of tune. Let me tune real quick. So, I'm not saying one's necessarily better than the other, but is the capture going into this more tube-like? Maybe. Let's go to kind of a low gain sound, which is actually the rhythm tone you heard at the beginning there. So, the capture now is of the Orange Rocker 15, which I no longer have the actual amp to compare here, but this is a moderately gained capture. So let's start with the capture. Let's see how that compares to just the dirty channel in the PV here. Back to the capture. Back to just the solid state PV. I will say those are rather similar, which I actually have done another comparison when I had that orange to see how close I could get the distortion in this PV to sound to the all-tube orange amp. And it was close. So they're both going through the same speaker and everything. So further test. Let's go higher gain. Yeah, it's a little noisy now. This is the cool thing about the Tonex. It has a noise gate. And by the way, that was a capture of the same orange amp, just at a higher gain level. But now let's kick the gain up on the amp, see if we can get it to sound somewhat similar. So once again, that was all the PV. Back to the orange capture. So I will say the capture is a lot noisier than the amp. Anyways, I guess to put a bow on this video, is it worth, let's say you have the Tonex one, you just want to use it clean and dirty, is it worth just using that over just using the 2 channels in a solid state amp like this? I don't know. Which, let me get these things off. It is loud in here and these things are making me sweat like crazy. But yeah, I guess I'm going to need to actually go back and listen to it recorded without being right next to the super loud amp to really get the final verdict on it. Editing Chuck here after I've sat and listened to this for quite a few times now, I think it just kind of confirmed one of my hypotheses that the speaker is the most important part of your guitar tone, and that PV Scorpion kind of put its filter on everything more than any tubes or captures or preamp does. So yeah, I don't think adding digital modeling on top of an amp like that really gave that much more benefit. May have added a little more compression, maybe a little more squishiness with the orange capture, but nothing a Perco Rat can't do. But anyways, back to the video. But let me know what you think. Did the Tonex one sound better? And there's so many captures out there that you could probably find one, whatever amp you have, whether it's an old PV like this, old Marshall solid state, the MG series, or a Valve state. There's, you know, Fender Frontman, you know, those types of things. See what works with your amp best and have fun with it. It gives you more sounds. Anyways, like and subscribe. See y'all later.